Hey guys, happy Saturday, May 20th at 12:39 p.m. It's hard to believe it's already like the 20th of May. Like this month has gone by pretty fast. And I did not read anything yesterday because I had a lazy day because I was up really late the night before. Sports, we love it, right? Multiple overtimes, yeah. So we are going to talk about what I am currently reading and then get into reading. So my short story collection that I'm currently reading is The Last Wish. I know I've been reading it forever, but I do think, well, I know I'm about to finish this in the next like 30 minutes. So this is The Last Wish by Andrzej Sapkowski. So this is a fantasy, and it is, I don't know if the books came first or the video game, but The Witcher. So Geralt is a witcher. If you don't know what a witcher is somebody who hunts monsters and kills monsters so they don't harm. There's not just humans, there's like elves and all that, so I can't just say humans, so you know what I mean. And honestly, it's just kind of repetitive because we just have him going on all these missions, killing monsters or dealing with monsters, dealing with fantastical creatures. So I should be finishing this today, and then I don't have any other short story or poetry collections. I don't own anymore, so I'm just gonna go get a short book that's under 400 pages and read like a chapter a day because I don't have any more short story collections. Then that one, I'm not picking this up today. So this got kind of bumped in a sense because I didn't read it yesterday, but this is my TBR pick. It is a classic, and that is The Scarlet Pimpernel by Baroness Muska Orsi. This is set during the French Revolution, and the Scarlet Pimpernel is like a group of people, it seems like, who are going to from France to England, taking people from France because people are being killed just because their last names, basically because they are aristocrats, and so taking people from France to England. And then my mood reading pick, which I usually like to, I'm sorry for the dog coughing. There was one dog coughing, there was one dog howling. I'm like, why does all this have to happen every time I start the vlog? So this one is my mood reading pick, and this is The Call of the Wrens by Jenny L. Walsh. This is a historical fiction. It's dual timelines with World War I and World War II. So the Wrens is the Women's Royal Navy Service. I don't remember. Yeah, Royal Naval Service. And this is, I can't talk, I can't focus. So this is, they are like dispatchers, typists, all this, so women helping the war effort. And then my ebook is Beach Music by Pat Conroy. This is, it spans like 3 generations, multiple continents, all through different things that happened in the last century, but we're following Jack, whose wife commits suicide, and how he is dealing with that grief and raising their daughter. So that's everything that I'm reading. So I'm about to try and finish The Last Wish, and then I'll finally be done with that because I've been reading it for weeks now, and I can't wait just to get through with it because I want to pick up something new. I love to read. I like to start new books. So I want to start the vlog here, and I'll see y'all later. Because I was just in the car with the windows down. Not by choice. No, I was in the car by choice, but I wanted to brush my hair and then get in the car and the windows are down and this happens. But I just finished The Last Wish, so let's go into my thoughts. So for characters, I really liked Yennefer, I think is her name. I've seen her on Tumblr, but I really liked those chapters, and all the others were just fine. Then I feel so lost. I wish there was a map in here and a glossary, because I feel like I went in here not knowing anything. So I don't think the world building was that great because, yeah, I didn't know what a lot of this stuff was, and I felt like there just should be some kind of key. Yeah, I was really confused. And then writing was fine. And the plot, as I said, the plot did get repetitive as we are constantly going on missions and this is repetitive, so this is going to be a 2-star, but I have often heard, as I've said in every vlog I've been reading this, that this one's not that great, but the rest of the series that are like actual novels and not short stories are good. So I am going to give the next one a go, but I'm not going to buy it right away or anything. I'm just going to put it on my Amazon list, and I'll get to it when I get to it, or if somebody gifts it to me. So there's that. So I need to find out which book I'm going to read next for my short story collection, even though it's not going to be a short story or a poetry collection because I do not own any more. That's why, like, at Barnes & Noble, it's so hard to know, sorry, something's in my eye, to know if something is a short story or poetry collection. I just feel like their sections aren't classified that well, at least at my local one, because at different locations it's probably different. The best Barnes & Noble I've been for like how they sort things has been at River Crossing in Indianapolis. I will leave a link to their Instagram because we follow each other on Instagram. They're super cool. But yeah, they sort their store so well, and yeah, I think it's a very well-run location because Instagram and social media game is strong, and that's something that I've talked about in real life, is that if somebody's social media is run, like if it is active, constantly posting, I mean, even once a week, is that will make me go to that place because I can actively see, okay, this is what it's looked like. And it, like, if it's in the last week, you know, that's extremely recent, because if you go on a website, it doesn't say when these pictures were taken and all that. So I do think having a social media for your business is super important, and having that social media be active, because a lot of times I'll see businesses will have an Instagram and then haven't used it in months and sometimes years, and I'm like, what is the point of having one if you're not going to be using it? So that's always a strong positive. But I will begin into The Call of the Wrens later, and I have been loving that one, so cannot wait to get into that. End of the night update, shall we? So I read 128 pages in here, which it honestly did not feel like that much. This book just flies by, kind of ironic, Wrens, birds, you know? But yeah, I'm loving it, and I will talk more about it, like why I love it, tomorrow when we finish it. And then tonight after the game, I will be getting into beach music. If this game doesn't go into like 4 overtimes, like I will literally leave if it goes into overtime because I don't want to sit through that again. So I do need to pick up this because I literally stopped in the middle of a chapter the other night because the overtimes and all of that, it was hectic. So I didn't get to read all I wanted to in there, but I will be doing that tonight. I will see y'all later. Happy Sunday. It's 2 something. I'm not sure what time. I don't even know the date, to be honest with y'all. I think it's the 21st. Yeah, it's the 21st, and at 2:47 p.m. here again because riding with the windows down. And then the weather's just been like in the 70s. Like I think it was like 73 when I left the house this morning. So very nice weather, but there is humidity with that. It's 77 now, by the way. So today did not start out good for me. My PlayStation account or Sony account got hacked and somebody spent over $100, but I got that all situated, got my money back and all that. But that was so frustrating because I couldn't find out how to get into contact with Sony at first, because I was like, somebody literally spent over $100 on my account. I'm like, I've already, like, y'all know I've had the computer situation, I've bought this chair. I was like, I don't have a lot of money to be giving out, so yeah, but I got it all situated, so it's all fine now. But that was very frustrating to wake up to, and then on Sunday morning is like my busiest morning of the week, so I was just like in a panic because I was trying to do so much at once. But I got it all situated, and then we went to my grandma's house, which a lot of that I was dealing with Sony at my grandma's house. Then we went over her dog's DNA test results, and yeah, so I haven't started reading yet, but I am going to be reading The Call of the Wrens today, so I should be finishing it. I think I have like 60 pages left in here, which is not that bad. I'll start reading at 3, which is in 12 minutes, and then I'll probably finish this and start another book. I think, is it Elton John's book that I have next to read? Yeah, Elton John's memoir. I don't know if this is like his only memoir, because I mean Elton John's been around forever, but his most recent one, I think it's called Me, and my friend Doll got me that book, so thank you to Doll for getting that for me. So I'm going to start that after I finish Call of the Wrens, which I'm loving. I love this era and location. It's the right time, right, like this was the right moment for me to read this, because I think if I would have read this at any other time, like outside of these past 6 months, I'd probably give this a 3-star, but like I'm loving it. It's a 4-star. Like it's not a new favorite, but I am loving it. But we'll talk all my like deep in detail thoughts later when I finish it. But I did just want to start the vlog because I am like home alone right now, and I'm usually not home alone at this time. So I was like, it's the perfect time to vlog, so I'm going to do that. Okay guys, I finished the book. So I actually finished 3 books this week, which I tried to finish 2 books a week in May. So, you know, pat on my back. But let's talk about my thoughts on the Call of the Wrens by Jenny L. Walsh. So we're starting with characters. I think Marion was a bit of a Mary Sue, I'm not going to lie. I don't like how she went about things, which I do think other characters are like, yeah, she went about things wrong, but I don't know if she fully sees that she went about things wrong, because there was a big plot twist in that last little bit that I read last night and into today, but I'm not going to say what it is because big spoiler. But I don't like how she went about things, so it kind of was off-putting because I don't think she saw what she did as like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so strange. And look at the cat. Oh my gosh, he turned around. But yeah, she kind of put me off a little bit. Atmosphere, this is everything that I wanted. I wanted something that was set in England during this time period, whether it be the First World War or Second World War. We get both of that, and I just really wanted something at that time period. So the atmosphere was the most important part for me. Writing was fine. Plot, yeah, I learned a lot, but this is, I feel like, a quiet book at the same time. Like this is just a very easy read. I should have said that for writing. Easy, fast-paced. But yeah, the plot, because this was something in history that I knew nothing about. I did not know the Wrens existed, and I learned something new, and that's only as my goal of reading. So this was a 4-star. I loved it, but I don't think that this would be a really memorable book. That's another thing that I was trying to say when I was saying it was quiet, that I don't think it is too memorable. But just because I'm so fascinated with this time period and location at the moment, like it was read this book at the right time, and I'm definitely going to look at Jenny L. Walsh's other books because I did like this book. I will be starting, oh, it looks like my Wi-Fi is not working, that's not good, but I will be starting Me by Elton John tonight. I don't know how far I'm necessarily going to get into it. This one is more on the longer side. It's, I mean, for my mood reading, it's 346 pages, or 354. Where did I get the other number from? I do not know. I'm seeing if there's not like an index, but I like to read about 25 pages. Or there's an index, there's not a table of contents. I'm seeing how long, okay, this first chapter is literally so long. It's 32 pages. So I would like to read all of that. I don't know how possible that's going to be, but that is how much I would like to read. So that's what I'm going to be getting into later. But we finished a book in the second day of the vlog, so happy to be able to. Hey guys, happy Monday the 22nd at 5:14 p.m. So I wanted to talk about new books that I started today, or only one book, but they're all way back here. So we'll get into that in a moment. I'm just looking at my hair, like I didn't do anything to my hair except brush it today because I just didn't have time, because I had to change outfits several times. Like, sizing is so weird. I wish there was like a law, like, do we really need a law for this? No, but where the sizes were the same like at every store, because like an extra small at Target will fit me, but from this boutique that I was wearing, I could not get it up. It was way too tight. Like I was like, and so I got it up past my like what are these, hips, And I was like, this is like a t-shirt, not a dress. So I'm like, I'm definitely not to put on shorts. But then I couldn't even get it, my arms. I got one arm into it, but I couldn't get the other arm. So I'm like, I wish there was a thing where every store, it was the same size everywhere, but it's not. But I did get this dress in the mail today, so I'm going to tell y'all my eBay hacks, which we're not actually hacking. This is my tips for eBay, I guess you can say. But this is the dress that I got. Let's see. I do have makeup on though, so you can't really tell for color analysis if this is fitting or not. But this is the color, or the dress that I got. It's a mini dress. And this material is like really, really nice. I think it's cotton, maybe. Some cotton in there. I don't see. But it's by the Rode. Like, Rode is a fashion designer. And these two people right here. And I love what they're wearing, but I cannot afford their like actual stuff from their website because I really like their line at Target. So I looked up their website and it was all hundreds of dollars, and I'm like, yeah, I can't afford that. But so I do love their Target picks. I just feel like their spring collection this year gave off like that really, like, I've said it before, like Princess Margaret when she would go to the Caribbean, like those kind of outfits. So like late 60s, early 70s tropical island vibe, which I really like, and I really have liked the colors. And I love this blue. And I think it's just a perfect like vacation dress. I don't have any vacations planned, but if I was going on vacation, I'd wear that, which I'm gonna wear anyway, not on vacation. But okay, so what are my hacks or tips for shopping on eBay? So I will add things to my watch list that I won't, which that dress was one of them, and I would have bought it eventually anyway, just because I really wanted that dress, and they were sold out of my size at my location and on the Target website. But I will add it to my watch list, and usually sellers will offer a certain percent off, and I will do it if it's over 25% off. So I wait for them to do it, offer me at least 25% off, and then I'll buy it. And shipping depends. I don't know. I don't remember what I paid shipping for that, because some I saw for books had free shipping, so you never know what you're going to get. But I mean, this isn't heavy at all, so I don't think shipping would have been too expensive if I had to pay for shipping. It was only coming from Indiana, so that is really good for me. And actually thinking about it, it shipped from Franklin, Indiana, which is where Target's stuff ships from. So I'm like, is this actually Target on eBay? You never know. You never know. But let's talk about what I started today. So for my short story collection, it's not really a short story, it's a short book though, is When the Reckoning Comes by Latanya McQueen. First off, I absolutely love this cover. I love that art style. I've always loved, I don't know what kind of paint this would be considered, but I've always loved seeing paintings. Like oil maybe. I don't know, because some of that looks like it was sketched, like that bird. But I need to find out who did this cover, because it's so beautiful. Okay, cover design by Milan Bozic. So I need to look up that artist. This is set in North Carolina. For some reason I thought it was in Florida, but it's in North Carolina. 10 years ago, our main character Mira left this small North Carolina town. It said like from her serrated hometown in the South, and then it said like she went north, and it was literally Winston-Salem, and I'm like, this is literally in North Carolina. So I don't know if maybe I just misread that or what, but okay, so she leaves the town because some traumatic event, we don't know yet, happened at this plantation home, like an old plantation home. It's not in the plantation era. Her and her friend, something happened to them. It led to arrest, and people were only just questioning her, and she was like, okay, I want to get away from this. I do not want to live with this, like, how do I word this? Like, she doesn't want to live with that on her of being like, oh, that's the girl that this bad thing happened to. She wanted to just move away, free of all these chains and all. So she leaves town, and then she's been invited back because one of her childhood friends is getting married. So she's like, it's just for a wedding, it'll be fine. So she goes back. But with the plantation, Woodsman Plantation is rumored to be haunted by the spirits of the slaves that once were enslaved there. Oh, okay, I see what happened now, so it's not a spoiler. So from the terrifying memory of a ghost she saw on the terrible day when a dare gone wrong almost got Jesse, the boy she secretly loved, arrested for murder. So almost arrested for murder. Or, yeah, so he did not get arrested for murder, it seems like. But so it was listed as a horror, which is something where horror can be hit or miss for me, but this writing has been like really vivid so far, like it really like rich, like you can, the senses, like it really, you use all your senses, like you like the way it was describing here, and the frogs do their mating calls, the sound of, you know, the bugs, cicadas, and I'm just like, oh, I love those sounds. Like that is summertime Carolinas, love it. But yeah, I thought this was in Florida, but it's in North Carolina, my voice. But and then I have been reading the Scarlet Pimpernel today. I think I've read like 2.5 chapters in here. I'm on page 102, sorry for my nose running, and I'm trying to get to page 148, so I will be back into this at 6, but I did want to tell y'all that I started. Guys, happy Tuesday. It is May 23rd at 3:31 p.m. So I did get a package today with some book mail. All that stuff out. I did get more of these things because I do have a subscription, so we got that first, and then our book mail is semi-hard to get out. So it's the same size as the box. Okay, so I got The Guest by Emma Cline. This actually released last week. I talked about it in the vlog last week of, it did not deliver, like, I pre-ordered it and it came like a week, it said it was going to be delivered like a week after it released. I don't know why. Me always looking at the colors. So this is, I've read one book by Emma Cline, and I think it was an average book. I remember everything that happened in it, but I don't remember what I rated it. I mean, I liked it, so I'm willing to give her another go. This is like a really thin material. So let's see. Summer is coming into a close on the east end of Long Island, and Alex is no longer welcome. So I really like Long Island settings. A misstep at a dinner party, and the older man she's been staying with dismisses her with a ride to the train station and a ticket back to the city. With few resources and a waterlogged phone, but gifted with an ability to navigate the desires of others, Alex stays on Long Island and drifts like a ghost through the hedged lanes, gated driveways, and sun-blasted dunes of a rarefied world that is at first closed to her, propelled by desperation and an immutable sense of morality. She spends the week leading up to Labor Day, moving from one place to the next, a cipher leaving destruction in her wake. So I think this is going to be a good summer read. Now, will I read it in the summer? Who knows? Maybe. You never know. So let's just read the first line. This was August. The ocean was warm and warmer every day. I'm not, like, I've never been a beach person, but I have been craving it recently. I want to go to, like, Wrightsville Beach because I see that one on Instagram all the time, and I'm like, because I don't, like, people were asking for recommendations for beaches on Facebook that like were not busy, because Polly's Island is like my dream beach. Like I go there in October when nobody is really there except like people fishing and like I guess locals, and it's paradise. But there is a little tiny island, so there's not a lot of parking. So this time of year when all the tourists are here and even locals, like everybody, like it would be impossible to find parking. So Myrtle Beach, I'm not doing that. I'm just not doing that. And then if you're below Georgetown, you're irrelevant to me. That's a whole other world, that part of the state. I'm not going to Charleston just to go to the beach. So I'm looking north at North Carolina because those beaches are not as busy as South Carolina beaches. And I'm like, it's literally like the same exact thing. The same water and everything. Same ocean. I'm like, I just want to go lay on a beach with warm weather because I don't have a pool anymore. So I'm like, I have nothing. But yeah, I have no plans to go to a beach or anything, but I would really like to, because we are nearing summer. Summer in my book starts next week on June 1st, which is also the first day of hurricane season. So we're going up to it, which I'm about to go start planning my summer wardrobe, the clothes that I'm going to just have as my essentials and all of that. And then order whatever I don't have that I think would be an essential for summer. So I think I'm gonna do that at Abercrombie, which is kind of on the pricier side, but I really like their stuff. But again, I'm just gonna have to see what I think and see what I can find. Hey guys, it is Wednesday the 24th at 4:56 p.m. So I just got back from Target. I do have sleeves, but these sleeves like keep popping. You just saw it do it. But yeah, Target was so busy today. I don't know why, because it's not really, oh, Memorial Day weekend. I did forget about that. That might be why. But yeah, it was kind of hectic. It's 4:56. I don't know if I said that. So yeah, I had to pick up a prescription. Then I needed a flower pot. I thought this was a cat, but it's a dog. And this was, oh, it doesn't have the price on the bottom, but I don't think it was too much. But yeah, that was something that, I think that might be the Stop the Water on the bottom, but I needed one for one of my flowers. It needs a new pot. And then I got Minka Kelly's book. It's called Tell Me Everything, and I got for 30% off. Again, a short memoir. We love that. But I've only seen her on Euphoria. I mean, almost I knew who she was because like famous celebrity. But I saw excerpts of this on Reddit and thought it sounded good, and I was like, well, I didn't know she had been through some of this stuff, so I wanted to pick up her book. And yeah, so I have read in here today, and I've read in the Reckoning, When the Reckoning Comes book, but I'm not a quarter of the way into any of these books yet, or like at a quarter. Update y'all, but I'm trying to finish the Scarlet Pimpernel today. I have like 80 pages left, so I definitely will be getting that. I just had soda, so that's why I'm like, ah. And then another cool thing that I learned about is astrocartography. I could be saying that wrong. So this is astrology on maps, and so I've basically been doing readings for my friends today. Yeah, that is something I've thought about like in the future for a potential like job or, you know, side gig, is doing astrology readings for people, because it is something that I am really fascinated by, and I love hearing my friends and, you know, all that. But this basically just shows locations. I'm currently looking at my moon sign, so there's just different locations of what like the moon sign is for deeper intuition. So I headed these locations for deeper intuition. And for my love sign, which is Venus, for North America anyway, it's like this really like that southeast corner of Canada of like Halifax and that area, and I'm like, how in the world am I gonna meet somebody from there? But yes, so I've been having fun looking at this and talking about it with my friends. Guys, so I do have an update tonight for Me by Elton John. So I am enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie, it's a bit, my only complaint is that it's a bit wordsy, like talking too much, and it doesn't look like there was a ghostwriter, and sometimes that does happen when there's not a ghostwriter, is people tend to go on. And imagine being the editor for Elton John, like imagine that. But what I took away from this today is, so Elton John, what is he, like in his 70s maybe? I would say in his 70s, and he might have been in his 60s when he wrote this. I don't remember when it was published, but it's a man who's lived a lot of life, looking back to when he was like 23 years old, my age, and just being amazed like that all of this happened. Let me read y'all this quote that was in the last page that I read today. I know y'all are all over the place. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, the book is falling. Okay, so it's like I said, sometimes the gut feeling is the most important thing. Sometimes you have to trust fate, and that's so true. Sometimes you just have to let fate do its thing. And that's because he's like, what if I did not accept these lyrics? What if I did not get past this audition? Would I be where I am today? Would I be working on different music if I didn't do all this stuff to become Elton John? And it's just so amazing to think about how all the little things in life add up, and the butterfly effect, that all these little things happen to make something bigger. And this is something I think about with life a lot. It's just like the smallest things can end up making something huge blossom. And I think that is so important to think about. So I hope all of y'all, that makes you take notice of everything you do, every small thing in this world, that everything matters. Everything happens for a reason. And sometimes you may be in some hard situations, but in the end, you might not be happy that those things happen, but you're thankful because you learned a lesson and it got you to somewhere better. So there is our inspirational talk. I was like, what do I call this? So I'm done reading for the day, so I am going to do some writing and then get back to the hockey game, which this might be, I hear one of my favorite commercials, but might be the last game of the season, who knows. I'm actually having a lot of fun with it. We are losing at the moment, but I'm having fun yelling at my TV. Like, this is the most vocal I've been during a game in a very long time in all of sports. So I will, guys, it is Thursday, the 25th at 3:09 p.m. and I finished a book. I finished the Scarlet Pimpernel. I wanted to go over my thoughts with y'all before I write my review. So let me scoot y'all back because I have my notes written down here. So this book, first I'll just say my rating was like a 2.5. Like, it wasn't a bad book, it just wasn't for me. And I will definitely say I preferred it the first time I read it back in high school, because I do think this book is one of the books that sparked my interest in like historical fiction, even though this is like classic historical fiction from 1905, but it still had that historical setting and reads relatively modern in writing styles. So it did spark that interest back then. So let's talk about characters. So I had a hard time with the characters, kind of. We have our main character, Marguerite, who, as I said, is the main character. We see her in pretty much every single chapter. And so she was very developed, but I was honestly getting all the male characters confused. This story is a lot about deception and disguises, and so it's always just kind of hard to tell who is who, and it was hard to tell who is speaking because it would just be like the quote and then no, Marguerite said this, like what Margarita did, but for like the male characters like Percy or Chauvelin, I don't know French, but so that was kind of hard for me to understand who is talking. Atmosphere, this kind of plays into writing when I will talk about the writing, is that the writing was very reminiscent of Victorian writers, as it was very descriptive and was really good at setting a scene. So that made it really easy to picture the book in my head. And so yeah, descriptive writing, and I liked the writing. As I said, it was very reminiscent of like Dickens and Shelley, writers from that era, as this one was published in the Edwardian era rather than the Victorian. Then plot, I feel like this book could have just been so much more. It's very base level, but this book did, or the Scarlet Pimpernel did end up becoming a series with lots of stories just revolving around the Scarlet Pimpernel, like society, whatever. So maybe just reading more of it, you will get more of that, because I've read several books now that take place in the French Revolution era, coming from the likes of Charles Dickens and Victor Hugo. And after reading those authors, it's like, oh, nothing can really compare. And that is something that I did notice and made me curious about. So in the Victorian times and in early Edwardian times, we have a lot of books about the French Revolution. So I'm like, was that like their historical fiction? How now World War II historical fiction is so prevalent with us? Because it's about the same 80 years, I would say, different. So I'm like, were they inspired how authors today write about World War II, were writers at the start of the last century inspired by the French Revolution? I don't know. That was like a big thing that a lot of people were writing or not. But yeah, so definitely this book just could have been so much more. I feel like it was just very one-dimensional. And in theory, it sounds like a great book, having a female lead going about blackmail, a revolution happening between two countries, one that she's from and her husband from another, and two countries that hate each other. So in theory it sounds good, but it just doesn't live up to other books from this time. But I would still say pick it up because it just wasn't for me. Y'all might like it. And as I said, this is even for me at 15 or however old I was when I first read it. I did enjoy it, and probably one of my favorite books that I did read in school. So there's that. I do need to write my review, and then I need to find out which classic I'm going to pick up next to read next month. Baby. Hi. Look at you. Hello, look at the camera. Oh, I shouldn't. Hi. Oh, look at y'all. Y'all are so cute. Oh, that guy back there is in the dish. Oh my. And this guy, he's knocked out. Oh, y'all are climbing in. Oh, look at you. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, he's stepping on the sleeping one. Oh my. Hi. Oh, hi. Yes, hello. You're awake now. Hello. Oh. Okay, guys, so let's do two little updates because I like right time I pressed record, I had an idea. So I am doing a try on haul for just some recent online thrifting purchases. So be sure to like my Facebook page. It is the same as my name on here, Izzy, and this is a Facebook page. Don't try to add my real Facebook because I do keep that personal. I won't accept your request. And then I will be putting these same videos if I can. I don't know how long it has to be on Twitter, but I'm going to try to put them on Twitter. My Twitter is linked down below if you guys want to check that out. But I'm about to start my contemporary pick of the month, and that is A Man Called Ove, and it is by Frederick Bachman. I've actually heard this name pronounced different ways, so I'm not 100% how to say this. But there is a movie of this book now that is starring Tom Hanks, and for the American audience, you know they had to dumb it down, and it's called A Man Called Otto Hightower. Not really, but it is A Man Called Otto. So this is All You Need Is Ove. This one I'm like, is it Ove? At first sight, Ove is almost certainly the grumpiest man you will ever meet. A curmudgeon with staunch principles, strict routines, and a short fuse. That sounds like me. People think him better, and he thinks himself surrounded by idiots. Relatable. Ove's well-ordered, solitary world gets a shake-up one November morning when the appearance of new neighbors, a chatty young couple, and their two boisterous daughters, who announce their arrival by accidentally flattening Ove's mailbox with their U-Haul. What follows is a heartwarming tale of unkempt cats, unlikely friendships, and a community's unexpected reassessment of the one person they thought they had all figured out. A word-of-mouth bestseller that has caused a sensation around the world, Frederick Bachman's irresistible novel about the angry old man next door is an uplifting exploration of the unreliability of first impressions and a gentle reminder that life is sweeter when it's shared with other people. So I love Frederick Bachman's books, so I am definitely... that's why I'm picking this up. I actually watched the first episode, rewatched the first episode, Bjorn's Dad, with one of my friends last night, and we're thinking of doing a Beartown buddy read, of reading a Beartown book every month. There are 3 books. It is a trilogy, so read Beartown in June. What is the next one? Us Against You in July, and then the last book, I think it's called The Winners or something, in August. But I'm going to start this now. I don't know if I'm going to read all 9 chapters that I want to read in one day in the sitting, So that's why I am starting a little bit earlier than I usually would, but I'm so excited to start a new Frederick Backman book because he is one of my favorite authors. And oh, I do need to see, is this one not translated? Because his other books I've read have been translated, but I'm not seeing a translator on this. So maybe he translated it himself, which is very impressive. And if you're wondering, he's Swedish, I think. Yeah, okay, Stockholm, yeah, because his show takes place in Sweden, so I was like, is the man Swedish? I think so. Guys, I went ahead and read a quarter of the book, which is all the 86 pages I told you about, 9 chapters. I'm loving it. It's a 4-star right now, but it could definitely turn to a 5-star because we are still kind of getting set into our story. It's a very quiet story, which I'm somebody who that is not a big deal to me. I'm not a big plot person, so, but this is funny, like, he reminds me of my grandma so much. Just the world moving on around, you know, old people, like iPads, computers, technology, that kind of thing. And then I love Ove, whatever. I really like his character. We know I'm an old soul anyway, so I tend to like old people characters and things. But that's another thing. He's only 59 years old. To me, that is not that old. Like, I was thinking this man was going to be like 85. And that's how I'm picturing him in my mind, is being like 85. Because in America, you would, at this point, you would probably still be working and everything. And he's retired and all of that. And so this is, there is that cultural difference of takes place in Sweden and then comparing it to America. But yes, I am loving this book. But yeah, it's really funny, and I love Frederick Backman books. Like, I feel like Anxious People wasn't that serious. This one's not that serious, but there are those deeper themes as well, because his wife did pass, and we kind of have him dealing with that. And with Beartown, I feel like Beartown is such a dark and cold book, but his other books, Anxious People, and then this one, I feel like haven't been that, not all the way dark like that. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm gonna go eat dinner now, but I did want to update y'all that I did read a quarter of this book. I'm going to be ending the vlog here. It's 9:23 p.m. and I will be reading my ebook while I edit my videos, or maybe after, because I do need to charge my phone. This is why I'm thinking of investing in a Kindle, because I read at nighttime before I go to bed, and my phone's never charged then because I've been using it all day. But yeah, I'm ending the vlog here, so if you made it all the way through, leave a like music note emoji. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and as always, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!